first of our best of threes here for day 3, rather appropriately, for ESL 1 Cologne. It's the big one between Astralis and Dignitas, and everything pointed to Dignitas walking through Cobblestone. However, an overtime win for Dignitas does raise into question how well Mirage will go for them. I've got these 3 handsome faces to talk about it. Guys, it's Mirage up next. Duncan, we'll start with you. Surely, after that Cobblestone, we can expect big things from Astralis, or are we talking exhaustion?
If anything, I think if Astralis wins any of these games, it's going to be in fashion they would have won there if they've eked it out on the T side. Like, I think actually they probably need big CT sides on all these maps, especially because traditionally their core actually was known for strong CT sides anyway. People like Zipnix is much better, I think, on the CT side. Device is more of a passive star player, so it works better if he's just in a site and he's headshotting people. I think if they can get double-digit CT halves, they have chances in these maps. The problem I have here is, again, tactical execution is going to be the problem. So we know that Dignitas aren't terrible on Mirage. They're not great on it. But if you're the Astralis guys and you're trying to execute on the T side, it's going to be hard to see how you're going to get a lot of rounds there. I mean, you're not going to have great flashes for each other. You saw when they were trying to take sites on T side of Cobblestone, they weren't even necessarily watching the angles. They were trying to go slow like you would in a real team, but this guy's looking over here and there's not a guy watching the right, you know. So I feel like that's where they're going to be let down. So either they're going to have to pick it up and try and fast attacks, or I think it's got to be big CT halves.
Very unstructured on their attack, Yanko. It's not like this is going to change coming into our second map.
Definitely. I feel since they're starting ST on this map, I think it's time for Device to have a monster performance.
Right.
That's what has to be the thing that's going to power them through. But even when they switch to the second half, to the CT side, Mirage is a type of a map where you have contact all across the map. So there's not a place where they could like hide Zonic, maybe have him, you know, play for more of a defensive position. If they, you know, try to do that, they will probably have to give up mid control, which is something I think Dignitas will be able to exploit.
Just closing thoughts from you, Jason, and your prediction. Let's get this going.
I actually didn't mind Astralis's. I mean, they struggled on it, but a lot of those T rounds on Cobble, they actually would come out with rounds where they had the first pick or the second pick. They actually had 5-on-4s or 5-on-3s, and they couldn't close them out. It was always, you know, it was always a player Dignitas being that impact in the mid round. So that's something they're gonna have to work on with that loose style. I'm gonna take either way. I'm gonna take Astralis on this map. I have Digwin in the series, but I'll take Astralis and Mirage.
All right, some faith in Astralis after their performance on Cobble. Yanko, just a team name, I think.
Dignitas.
Oh, he doesn't want to do it. Oh, he didn't want to do it. And finally from
Astralis.
You. Okay, so just the one for Dignitas. Most of us want to see a full 3 maps. I'm sure you guys do as well at home. Your casters are ready for this one. Let's get into our second map of our first game here for day 3. Your casters are Henry G and Sadakist. Enjoy this one, boys.
You say the casters are ready for this one. I honestly don't know if I am after what we just saw on Cobblestone. Mirage is Astralis' pick.
Yeah.
But they still have this looming stand-in factor.
It's the T side that worries me the most. They actually start off, this is their pick, so they start on the T side, and we saw it on Cobble. They don't really have the structure right now, and the guys on desk are absolutely right. The executions on Cobble are pretty basic, right? You're doing the standards, you do a couple of smokes to lock off some choke points, and you work together as a 5. Mirage is not that kind of story. You need to have to set smokes, to set flashbangs, the Molotovs flushing CTs out. And with 2 stand-ins right now, they would have been okay if it was just Glaive, I think, but now Zonic's in there as well. We saw him struggling with the utility, actually, when he was actually, remember, the smokes on balcony and all that sort of thing. Like, he's not really on that sort of level right now. Obviously, he can get a couple of kills here and there, but I really do not feel they can actually do much here on the T side. But I said that on Cobble as well, and they managed to get it to overtime. So who knows what's going to happen here. It's going to be getting into this one. Like I said, it's going to be Astralis on the T side, 3 sets of armor, and a fast play towards the B apartments from Zonic, in fact. Does do a lot of damage. Headshots Tensky, in fact, and he's going for more.
More indeed, but Tensky gets Zonic down, and Cajun B follows up. This could be a pistol round finally going the way of Dignitas. Remember, they did not win a pistol round on the first map. They ecoed after one, but they did not win directly on either of the 2, yet still won the map. Interesting enough. Config tapping away. Cajun B goes down to 1 HP, and as you say, Tensky getting that headshot originally from Zonic, it puts him onto 5, so there's a chance for 2 kills to come out of this, but they've got to find those 2, and those 2 can afford to be more passive in this situation, as Kerrigan and Device have to work together. Bomb in the hands of Kerrigan. He'll slow just slightly to allow Device walking, so not to give it away before they enter, to get closer. And Kerrigan spotting up Rubino on the way through. Rubino in turn spotting Device and not being in a position where he can be traded. Kerrigan does hit 1 shot, but that's all they'll get, and it will be the round to Dignitas. Just quickly, you touched on, you know, the T side. We mentioned it before, how to utilize Zonic. You've done some in-game leading in the past as well,
yeah.
and what is the harder aspect? Because CT, everyone should know how to hold an angle, but rotations come into it. However, you say the utility T side. As Kerrigan right now, what is the harder aspect?
Right now, the problem is they have on Mirage, it's not one of those sites you can't just sit behind a certain area and hope for the best. It's a very execute-based map. As soon as the T's actually actually commit with the smoke grenades and stuff. You need to be pushing through, you need to be counter flashing and trying to find frags. You can't really sit at the back and hope for the best. You'll be smoked out of position. You can wait for rotation, sure, but you're not going to have any impact on the site. Zonic wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but I really do think he's going to struggle here, especially with the executions we know the team like Dignitas have. The guys point out, it's not their best map, but they certainly know how to play it. They'll be doing things nice and slow, going for that mid control, doing the nice set pieces, and that's what they really need to do here to hold on. It's a very clean pistol round to kick things off, and we'll see whether they can actually hold on going forward, because you can see there's no real force buy from Astralis here. They're going to be going with the Desert Eagles PT50s, and they have got a smoke as well. Didn't manage to get the bomb down, which is interesting, and just a default. Normally on the second round, if you don't get the bomb, it's full force buy. You get Tech 9's armor, a couple of smokes in there as well. You try to do the set piece to get the bomb down. That's the main objective. You can see Dignitas, they've got 4 rifles here. They're keeping things nice and long range. Tensky on the scout as well. So this shouldn't be too dangerous here, but that's an interesting play from KGB. Gives Carrigan the first pick.
Get middle, let him get connector. It's such an important position. It opens up the site for entrance, and Glave's going to find a kill on Config. It's equaled out, but Xyp9x does better to take Rubino.
What? This is nuts.
And the scouts rotate. MSL has 8 HP to work this, and the scout's rotating over still. He's come catwalk at least, so he's got some vision in the site already as Tensky. He was trying to play that jump position at the apartment. Does hit Xyp9x, but still the response with the M4 catches out MSL. So it's 1 versus 3. And with only 4 HP, Xyp9x is the one with the gun. I imagine he's going to try and trade this off with the bomb. He's actually not. Look at the minimap. They're not even near him. I mean, bomb's going back over to B. They've done this so well, and Xyp9x is still here. Tensky's still committing. They're going to get a plant off this now. It's going to be the pistols on the plant. So if Xyp9x can do some damage onto Tensky early and keep him here for longer, it would be hugely beneficial, but he hasn't done so, and Tensky's going to slip away. They've split up inside of the site, makes the job much harder to try and find them, but Tensky's not sure how to approach this or if he even wants to.
Well, he hasn't got a kit. He's got a smoke and 3 players to find, and the bomb, he still thinks it's towards A, but the looks of things, I'm not sure if he's trying to save here, but yeah, he still thinks it's towards A. I think you'll hear the bomb not actually ticking right now. It's starting to ring true that he'll be saving the FAMAS. And he takes a headshot through the box as well. Doesn't do too much damage here. Gets a kill on Xyp9x, but that's just a souvenir at this point, man, because the bomb is on the other side. And who would have thought Astralis would win that round? They didn't have much to play. They didn't even force, but like I said, they had no armor, a couple of upgraded pistols. They didn't even do a smoke execution. It all comes from that play from Carrigan. How is he allowed to get towards the connector? That's fine if you can get to that area, but you just got to be aware of it. If you're not going to have anyone calling for you, at least have your gun turned to you. You can play that steps area, just watching that, wait for the play to come towards A. It's KGB that goes down first, just jumping across with his knife out. That opens up the site, and then it all falls apart from that point. So Dignitas, after that great start, very successful pistol, and all goes wrong in the second round. They will be force buying themselves into the second dig. So they've gone for Deagle, CZ, Scout, and M4 on config. Definitely possible, but it's a little bit of a fast stretch. Let's see what they can do here. Tensky, I assume, takes the Scout towards B. Obviously has a lot of jump shot potential there. But it'll be a default, almost certainly from Astralis. As I said, though, maybe just a rush B. First shot comes in, Xyp9x goes down low.
And the jump shot from Tensky lands. To do the early damage, has to go to pistol, but Zonic's wrapped around. Mac 10 looking for more. Has to reload it out. He's got the information. They're rotating. Cajun in the site, catches him off as he throws a nade, and response still coming in swiftly from Astralis, but MSL comes in late as Xyp9x distracted, taking down Rubino. He's picked up an AK. He's got armor to work with, and no bomb plan yet. They're still waiting on catwalk. If he can find the next kill here before they can approach, this becomes a huge problem, but he's tagged up, and that should do it, because 11 HP, Kerrigan's easy able to mop the rest up, and it's going to go to 2-1 Astralis. So same situation in reverse as how we started out on Cobblestone, where Astralis won pistol, but then it was 4 rounds on the bounce for Dignitas.
Well, you can see how they're utilizing Zonic right now. Every single sort of these situations, like, right, you get the Mac 10, it doesn't need much in terms of mechanics, no brutal aim, you can run and gun, jump around, and try and spray people down. They send him into the bomb sites first, just to hunt out information. Even if he takes 1 down, that's enough. That opens up the round. Like I said, it's pretty unorthodox for a team just to straight up rush B there, but I guess they just want to end things nice and quickly and surprise any sort of ace stack that may be coming in from Dig. So it will be the full EK at this point. 5 USPs, nothing purchased. It's almost guaranteed 3-1 in favor of Astralis. 4 players towards A for Dig, but that Molotov will flush out a couple of players at this point, so they're going to have to face now. And MSL could do something with this, though, but Rubino burns alive towards Shadow. This round is over, and Glaive does find 2 Xyp9x with the Mac 10. Tensky, the last player remaining, and he's out of position as well. So pretty clean stuff from Astralis here after losing the pistol. I can't believe they won that second round. That's a huge blunder from Dig, but can't really argue the results for Astralis. Looking very strong right now. We'll have a look at the cash for next round. They're going to get $2,400, so they don't think they have all potential here. I think Emma's can just about get a glass can if he wanted to. Let's see what the next round holds. So Yeah, so literally MSL has 47.50. That's enough just to get an AWP. That's more than high risk. He's the only player that could actually afford to do that. So they'll be probably going 5 rifles here. Config, the last player to buy. Going with the Famous there. They're limited here. Absolutely. They've got 4 smokes, 5 rifles, no kits, a couple of flashes, no incendiaries, no HEs. This is the kind of round where someone needs to go towards underpass and push B apartments. They need to be going for that first pick. Mirage is different in the aspect of Cobble. You have opportunities to push certain positions and gain an advantage at the start of the round. There are definitely windows of opportunity there, but it looks like an A-sided attack from Astralis. Not messing around here. This is what I'm talking about. 3 players towards A round. They want to get that first pick. They're up against it, and now they've got it. 5 on 4.
And that's going to be a start that's much deserved as Rubino's going to take down Kerrigan. This all works well. MSL top fence, trying to see over top of smoke where Zonic was spraying through a connector device. Needs to be careful not to give away these tracers because he nearly lines up on config. It works out, pushing through. That's just a kill given away.
We've seen this so many times from Dig. You get these 2-man advantage. You're pushing through smoke, just trying to close things out. That gives Astralis a chance here. They're still 4 on 3, but there's just no reason for that. You don't have much to work with. Sit back, have the crossfires, make them commit before you give anything else away. That's very sloppy from config after such a great performance on Cobble. They're still fine. They probably will still win the round, but definitely give Astralis something to work with here.
Zonic's going to the underpass instead. There you go. There's the evening kill. Device finds it as KGB's up on the edge, and Zonic's going to find MSL. This is just a complete blunder from Dignitas, and Astralis are now staring at a 4th round, potentially. Not done just yet. It is 3 versus 2, and Zonic is low. He's still inside of mid. Tensky's going to know that he's here. Crosshair placement not on. Tensky gets the jump. Device is low on HP, but he's still trying to get inside of this site. Meanwhile, Bomb's going B. So they are split up right now on this T side. Device getting Rubino. That should pull it back. There's 30 seconds to run all the way back around, though. And the question is, did Tensky hear him from Catwalk? He didn't. I don't think went up far enough in apartments that Tensky would have, because if he heard him running back, he'd already be on the jump over toward A.
It's hard to believe this is for a playoff for the top 8 air majors. Some of the mistakes are being made are so basic. And this is a round that looks like Dignitas have thrown away after doing so much well. Like I said, they had to work so hard to get those first 2 kills. They get them. That's a dream scenario. Couldn't have gone better for them. Throw it away. 2 versus 1 now. Tensky with no grenades, no kit, and he has 2 players to find with the bomb planted as well.
I mean, and to be fair, you're right in that it is a surprising level of play. None against Astralis. I mean, they're doing what they can in this situation, but Dignitas, yeah, they're throwing a lot away. I mean, Lurpus made a tweet after the first game that he was shocked by it as well. I think there's a lot of people that are shaking their heads. So Dignitas looking sloppy early in this one, give up a 4th round to Astralis. That builds the loss round bonus up, but with the last buy, they can afford pistols. Really, that's about it to justify, to level out the buy and then get a full one, including AWP in the next.
Yeah, Config should be pretty embarrassed after that round, and it's going to be an eco here coming in for Dignitas. Now 4-1 in favor of Astralis. This is their pick, remember, so they did very well to even take it to overtime on Cobble, something we completely ruled them out of, but great start here on the T side. It's going to be Dignitas just with CZs and 5-7s, not really much to work with here. Once again, 4-man stack towards the A side, but this is a full-on default from Astralis. Waiting for any aggression, and Kerrigan does spot the head of Tensky. Doesn't land the shot, but it is given away. There's obviously an eco at this point. And it's round number 6, and this will be a very slow-paced one. There's not really much that's going to go down. If somehow they can get some sort of tremendous Desert Eagle headshot and open it up, it's still not really enough to work with. A 4-man stack surely going to get shut down. You can see Device, once again, reconnaissance style. He can be chucked into the bomb sites first, and even if he gives that weapon away, it's not a big deal against armored players.
Tensky smoked off the mouth of B. So see if this stack pays off. Cajun, Rubino, the close ones. Zonic's going to be the one to try and get some information over on the B side. In fact, just smokes it off, falls back away. They're going to take this bomb back over there. They never probed the site in completion. So there's a chance here Dignitas could capitalize. Entrance is going to have to be swift. Device is going to be the one to peek first. Only an MP7 for him to play this range game, but Cajun B is close enough. Good avoidance of the flash, but there it is. Cajun peeks out. Rubino goes down far range from Xyp9x, but they have to find Cajun, and good play. He gets 3 Xyp9x coming out from the apartments. Kerrigan will close config, and Tensky, as mentioned, was playing on the B side. He's going to rotate. Device is going to face him off. Thankfully gets the kill from long range with the MP7. He had the bomb against a Deagle. You'd almost favor the Deagle in that sense, but well, 4 players still alive.
As expected, pretty clean round there. For Astralis, money is starting to stabilize for Dignitas, though. They go into round number 7. The AWP finally comes out for Cajun B. We know he can have a lot of potential on this map, but when he's in Astralis, if you are new to this series, Cajun B just recently moved over to Dignitas from the team he's playing against. He wasn't the AWP on this map. This is where Kerrigan was the main AWP for them on the CT side. So he's taking up a new role here. Be interesting to see what he brings to the table. Let's jump on with him. He's actually towards the A side for now, and it's going to be Carrigan with that AWP back towards the B side. So this will be a default. When the AWP's going towards the B apartment at the start, you can almost guarantee he's looking for a first pick, seeing if anyone is going to be pushing aggressively. Smoked out for now. That pretty much means he has to reposition himself. So he'll go back towards middle and recalculate himself. Device. Smoke. Does give an opportunity to work with, but what is this? How is no one watching apartments?
That's the most obvious position ever. Ticket booth, want a connector to watch it. If you're going to play up close in shadow, the man in window needs to watch mid. It's sloppy. I think Gamers Academy videos are in order right now for Dignitas.
There's no excuse for that. You've got a player at steps, you've got someone at CD spawn, someone in shadow. How are you allowing a terrorist to walk out, put him on those open positions in the map and find a kill onto your AWP player as well? It is a 4-on-4, but this heavily favors Astralis. They're the ones of utility. They can actually spread the CT stun in this position as well. Dignitas need to wake the hell up.
MSL still has ladder room, which does give a threat to middle if he plays this correctly, but without the vent dropped at window, he won't be able to spring down and surprise anyone coming through connector. That surprise would be onto Glaive. Config, meanwhile, rotating back in toward the jungle position. He's the only rifle close to A right now, as Rubino with the AWP is forced back on the CT stairs. And Astralis just taking map control time and time again. Config.
Yeah.
Flashback this time, as well as the flames in front of him. Can't do anything to stop Zonic from planting the bomb, and Rubino can't get the shot with the smoke in front of him. Well-timed smoke. Astralis doing things correctly. I mean, you said it's a utility-based map. They haven't really had to do set executions. It's just straight up nades to allow plants.
Walking out, finding kills where Dignitas are just being sloppy and amateur, I would say, at this point. It's a 3-on-3. There is still a chance, but they only have 2 players remaining now, and there's going to be the save coming in. Dignitas, I think you need to take a pause right now and work out what the hell is going on, because this is not good enough. They're getting completely rolled in all aspects of the map. Like you said, Astralis are just working very basic defaults, walking out in certain positions and finding kills because they're not covering simple angles there. Well, it will be 6-1, and it looks like Dignitas trying to save weapons here. Rubino goes down. Config does survive just about. Goes down to 10 HP, recovers an AWP. That's something to work with at least. There's a positive storyline going into round number 8, but look at the money building up for Astralis right now. They've got a 12K available. They've got tons to work with. They know the CTs have the AWP potential. It's going to be the force buy from Dig. This could be the blunder, though. This could, when it opens up the window, they could start spiraling out of control. I guess at this point, they need something to work in their favor. It's going to be an AWP, 2 Famis's, 1 M4, 1 kit, a scout on Tensky. Limited in utility. This is working out perfectly so far for Astralis. And it's Onyx to go first towards middle. Has actually been pretty decent, to be fair, considering he hasn't played in 3 weeks and he's using some random gear as well. It's not been a bad performance. He's not even like bottom in terms of statistics.
Cajun B does take him down this time. Finally, something to work with. Cajun from the wings. He's been using the op on A this time at connector, excuse me, catwalk, but in connector, it's going to be Glaive going through, catching MSL. And that comes after Kerrigan already found a kill on the config. So star player down, MSL strat caller down. And a man advantage again for Astralis. They've got to find Rubino underneath the shadow. He finally takes device, and Cajun will step in late, but it's pulled back again. Just when they think they have a chance in the round, it's all to Tensky. Scout as well, let's not forget. As he gets flashed off, can't find the crossing player in Glaive, and Kerrigan with bomb going down. It's a good setup again for Astralis with a crossfire. They'll spot Kerrigan going towards CT. Well, that's all good and well. You've got 180 degrees to look the other way and find Glaive, who's not facing. He's waiting way back down at the bottom of the stairwell because he's going to bait out the time, and Tensky, it's up to him to make this happen, unfortunately. Goes to the wrong side to find the bomb. That buys more time, but it's such a tough ask either way. And no one budging on that tap. Glaive will finally just check it.
Yep.
Tensky's gone the wrong way.
Yeah, it's a really difficult position for Tensky there. He's got 2 players in CD spawn, 1 towards A ramp as well. He goes to the fake defuse, and he's facing the wrong way when they face it as well. Kerrigan doesn't even need to show himself. He'll probably go down here, by the looks of things, but somehow hits that shot. Okay, Kerrigan survives, and what a massive play that is. Astralis did find out it was the force buy from Dignitas. Obviously a maximum loss bonus now, but the money definitely isn't a place to force buy. They need to be very careful. So here comes the pause finally from Dignitas. They need to sit down, chill out, work out what's going on in these setups, because they're looking a little bit lost here on the CT side. Not over yet, of course. It's only 7-1, so quite early days, but it's not looking positive, I have to say. They're just getting completely wrecked by very basic play. Astralis not even coming in when he's sick fragging or crazy clutches or shots that are godlike, walking out apartments and just finding people not looking at them. That's just too easy, in my opinion. But this is fine, though. Dignitas can take a pause here. Probably won't buy this round, I'd say. You can do the partial buy. You're going to get $3,400 next round regardless. So they can probably go for some 5.7s, maybe a shotgun here and there. Config has 5,200, and see what we can do the next round. But yeah, it's just some of the real key errors that are costing them rounds right now. When they have the advantages, they're throwing them away. The setups, when they know Astralis aren't going to be a very tactically deep team, that is just giving too many easy picks away. But round number 9 coming in, you can see they're pretty composed still. They're not panicking just yet, no arguments. And Astralis, they're going to have a chance now to get the freeze time themselves, the pause time, I should say. And they've actually opted for a double AWP setup this time. Obviously, Device does pick up the weapon. Very capable AWPer, one of the best in the world at one point.
Yep.
And he'll be joining Carrigan, who's had a great game so far as well. But, yeah, Matt.
I'm shocked. I'm appalled.
This is interesting scenes, I have to say. It's obviously not Dignitas' pick. It's not going to be their best map, but for someone who's trying to compete in that top 10 and trying to become a world-class team and play off for a major right now, they should be running away with
That's
this.
the big thing. This is the gift. They didn't qualify, despite being the #1 rated team in the qualifier, not obviously overall at the time, but in the qualifier for Columbus.
Yeah.
Now they have a chance to go to legend status, the best chance you may ever get against 2 stand-ins. And, okay, this is one thing. You said it's not their map choice, but its fundamentals aren't there, and their map choice was close.
It's basic
this
approach
is shocking.
to the map, like the core setups and how Mirage should be played and how every team will actually face certain situations, the crossfires you deploy. That's not really going well for them right now, but we are going to get back into it. It will be the partial buy from Dig, so not expecting too much, but maybe go aggressive towards middle. The double AWP setup could be detrimental to Astralis in that sense. They missed that first shot, and there's 3 players running up with pistols. They can pick up an AWP, but it's going to be 5/7 Deagles and a CZ. Body armor, Config going for head armor, which is kind of interesting. I guess he has more money than everyone else. He's maybe guessing that Astralis have an MP7. I'm just having a look if they have any players that laugh. Yeah, it's a possibility. If they're really reading the economy well, they could get the MP7 out again, so I guess he's just boosting his chances in that manner. But 7-1, we go back into it. Round number 9. Double AWP setup. There's no chance for a rush here from Astralis. It's not going to be a thing. Just hold up defaults once again. Work out if you can see where any stacks are. And then work together. It's basically more of the same. Tensky getting a little bit aggressive towards the apartments, but it's Rubino with that CZ hunting for information now.
Tensky trying to use Deagle over at B right now. Did get a little bit of information that Zonic was peeking, but he'll fall back and that will subside. Nothing to come of it. Instead, right now, it's the mid pressure that wants to be applied from Astralis. Interestingly enough, this puts them into close proximity with where Config and Cage and B are playing, so the Pistols could potentially take advantage. Smoke out on window, though, and Cage is going to have to wait for that to dissolve before any chances. And Tensky, there we see it pushed up inside of the apartments, is also trying to capitalize on these angles.
It's the best chance he's got. Nice close angle with the Deagle. Hope for the 1 ball.
2 players coming down there, though, should mean a trade. Tensky gonna face it out, and it better still, they just take him directly.
That's how you should take it. Flashbang goes in. Like you said, if one goes down, you've got the player there backup. That's just basic CS at this point. CS 101. Going into these positions, not risking anything, and it's a pretty clean round so far. Not a single player has taken any damage, so they're going to have control of the B site. MSL goes down as well. Rubino, he's coming in the back. Well, he's actually towards middle right now. He'll be coming in the back now. CZ in hand and round over. You might as well save the body armor at this point if you're new to the game. If you save the armor with 100, like it is right now at the bottom left, it means it only costs you 350 to actually get head armor next round. But considering they haven't killed anyone, that's not actually a big deal. They know there's 5 AKs and all orbs out, so save the CZ, I guess. Hide in T-spawn, hope someone runs past you. But this is this next round, like I said, the maximum loss bonus. So that's $3,400 on top of what they have right now. So they could get a double AWP setup themselves. I think that's probably the next port of call. Get the AWP towards B, get that set up like the turret, and then we can have the one rotating between middle and A bomb site. And that's probably their best chance here. It'll probably be Cage and B and MSL working the AWPs. Rubino can AWP as well, but I think that will be the setup we'll go for. Obviously, MSL was the AWP before Cage came in. He was like the in-game leader as well. Wasn't the best, but he could do a solid job. Let's see what they decide to do there.
And Cajun, last time that they did run the double op, he's again, I mentioned he was playing in the CT stairs a lot. He went to Catwalk to find the opening pick. And Zonic he found. That was the round they ended up losing in the end. With Tensky on the scout to try and clutch, which never really had a chance.
It's just a single AWP, so it's up to Cajun this time. No one really stepping up for Dignitas whatsoever.
Cajun's gonna go window with the op. Had the spawn B side, gets there, no smoke out just yet. Fast shot to corner, misses it. And that allows Kerrigan and Glaive to approach much, much faster than perhaps anticipated. Config's going to try and redeem that by getting into Ward Connector above smoke and watch the underpass. And MSL's going to pinch play, get toward the ladder. Good play from Config just to spot Zonic. Just a pixel. That's all he needed to find the headshot. And smartly, he's going to fall back into the site for once.
Yeah, this is solid now. They have everything covered. You can see KGB's got control of Palace. They've killed the player and connector as well. They have that man advantage. It'd be up to them to throw it away at this point. MSL with decent position towards the ladder room as well. He can see players crossing to connector from that position using that vent. So that's exactly where he is right now. Glaive will be smoking him out. Looks like an A-side attack is likely. The bomb's still down in T-spawn, so they're trying to show their hand towards B, but Carrigan, he got it towards short, and now that's opened the window for Astralis. Glaives finds config. 4-on-3, this is falling apart. Up to Tensky in that B bomb site. He's by himself, but this could be it now. Oh, there's frags everywhere. What happened there?
I'm not sure it was shown. We'll watch to see if Tensky's got any chance of surprise here. I doubt it. Bomb way back at T-spawn. Glaive's going to find out A's open. Yeah, round done, I'm afraid. Carrigan walked up catwalk, and Glaive was, I'm not even sure this was the intended play, but the way that it worked out, Glaive flashed himself from underneath the window in a way that he could get toward connector safely in case anyone was in the window and couldn't peek him. It distracted MSL long enough that he didn't have position. There it is. So Carrigan came around. Yeah, I didn't realize it was even a no-scope. I saw it from MSL's perspective. That's impressive in its own, but it just was poor timing on MSL's part. And again, Carrigan's, much like the pistol round, or the eco round, excuse me, when he walks up mid, he's just finding these openings.
Yeah, he's doing it on Cobble. He was the one stepping up on the T side, and after getting that first pick, Dignitas, the round just slips away from them. Now they're getting a little bit more aggressive, forcing into this one. The lost bonus working in their favor, so they do have Rubino on the AWP. It's glass cannon, but he does hit the first shot. He takes down Carrigan to 2. And they've got a player towards middle as well. So this is more aggressive now. They're trying to find those first picks. These defaults aren't working out for them. So Tensky, Famis in hand towards middle, but unfortunately for him, the terrorists are rotating back towards A. We still do have some distraction there. Zonic towards B. That's how they're utilizing right now. Just show his hand towards that side. Keep a player from rotating while his teammates potentially go towards A. He will then rotate from the underpass area and join them and hold the rotations. That's the kind of position that's ideal. It means you don't have to stick aim. You can just kind of hide there and catch people by surprise. But Carrigan, once again, 2 HP, takes down Rubino. That's the AWP as well. So he capitalizes. And once again, the A bomb site under control. Up to config now with the Famis and no grenades whatsoever. What can they even do here?
Well, that's a question I'm sure they've been asking in many rounds, to be fair. What can they even do? What can you even say about it? As Cajun B will take Carrigan, at least get something going, but there it is. Device, he follows up second AWP, takes back config, and it looked for a moment like Tensky was going to be fast on the flank. He's still there, he's still getting through T-spawn, but he's a little bit late doing it. Bomb goes down. MSL from CT, smoke has dissolved. Has a bit of a chance to distract, but Zonic going back, he'll get the information on Tensky. Actually, I take that back. Minimap portrayed that differently. It looked like he was up on the ledge. He's gone through Palace instead, so it's going to be Device that's going to get caught off by this. And he is close enough that if he can find 2, MSL has a chance to find a way back, but Device finding that kill should end the possibility. Are they walking away from this?
No, he hasn't even got a kill. He can't ninja this. He's just trying to upgrade to an AK at this point. So, coming in, footstep given away. Glaive will get him. Okay, well, okay. Glaive, you do have an AK. But up to the Tech 9. Interesting, but it doesn't really matter. The money's so swollen right now. You can see 2 players on 16k, even after that round ends. Zipex and Carrigan, 16k each. They do take down the remaining CT player as well. That's 10 rounds in a row. Need to remind you, Matt, Dignitas has won the pistol here. And they haven't done anything since.
Yeah, this is...
It's just been horrible. Now they're just like, they're so far removed from this map. They're just force buying every single round. It's going to be Famis, MP9, Scout, 5-7. They are out. They are checked out of this. It's going to be more than likely the third map. I just don't see anything happening here. It's going to take an absolute godlike play from someone here with this kind of buy, but let's see what they can do. Nothing really aggressive so far, but towards the A ramp, they're trying to find those first couple of kills. But Carrigan, once again, surely not the no-scope, but of course he lands it.
Jesus.
Takes down 2. And now it's a 5-on-3. He just seems to be stepping up time and time again in these close-range situations. Just when it looked like he was out of it, but can he deliver again? KGB waiting for him. Oh my God, I'm done. This is over.
So is Dignitas, don't worry.
Right then.
Hey, like I said, I offered to play for Dignitas to make it fair.
Might have been beneficial at this point. Bit of a loose cannon coming in, young Canadian. New ideas.
The moose on the loose.
Yeah, that could have been it.
Tensky, 1 versus 4 now, is going to be found by Zipex. Device had already spotted him in the window, so easy call. And look at the flank that was coming in. There was really no chance. 11-1. 1-11 on the scoreboard.
Force buy again, boys. Well, we are done. We need some more rounds at this point. Let's get the Famises out. Maybe a shotgun here and there. And we'll see what happens here. So it will be 3 Famises, 2 M4s. No kits once more. At this point, Astralis is all they need to do is do the defaults. Hold up, wait for the aggression to come in. You can't sit back and allow a full execution as a CT with no utility. They have to go for the picks. They tried it at A-ramp, but got completely shut out by Carrigan. It's at this point, you wouldn't want to admit it as the in-game leader, but I'd be thinking about the next map. I'd be thinking, well, we are pretty much done there.
And Kerrigan is replicating that of Xipik's performance. He's on 15 Xipix, but Kerrigan 17 kills already. Round now 14. Zonic's gonna go down early. Config finally getting something rolling. Bomb dropped as well. It's Kerrigan that he finds. But it's Glaive that's gonna try and follow this up. Headshot spotted, good crouch to get away from the bullets. Config forced back, and Device finding 2 off camera. They've turned it around again, but Tensky's push will drop bomb once more. Device versus 2.
Okay, they should win this round. I thought it was gonna fall apart again with those 2 Device kills, but this is a pretty lockdown situation. It's one of the tightest points in the map. The B apartment, they've got control of the bomb as well, and MSL with the AWP. Tensky's holding the steps. There's no way this can go wrong. But I say that with trepidation though, Matt. Let's see what Device can do. As he edges his way in, has time to work with, and a flashbang. If he gets a kill on Tensky, that's pretty much round over.
Tensky spots first. So pull MSL back as well.
Oh no.
Molotov doesn't segregate. Does it land far enough up? No, MSL's still forward of it. The flash misses. It goes the wrong way because I think he expected MSL to be in kitchen. He's not gonna know. He's not gonna know. He's on the stairs, and MSL missing it nearly gives a chance, but it's the USB to close the rounds.
Oh my God. Had that flash landed, by the way, I think that would have pretty much bounced in front of both of them, and that could have been the separating factor. But Device, he gets them down to 1 player remaining. That does make the money go into a horrible situation once more. Did they not save the AWP? Yeah, they did. Okay, that's fine. But this was Device. Hit is a 4-on-2. Once again, comes down right to the wire. But obviously, if they're going to do this round, they're going to the final one with literally no money. So they need to. This is a must-win round. It goes without saying they have to win this one, or it's going to be a 12-3 half. Well, it could be a 13-2 half, sorry.
Could be very easily a 13-2 half. Scout on Tensky again. He's been limited for money the whole game, and he's been playing that scout on B looking for the jump shot. The problem is, after that, what's his plan been? Because he's out on catwalk this time. He hasn't really done anything other than do damage in that position, not even kills really. As Device will start it off. MSL falls first. Xipik's gonna wait for double smokes now as his and yet another are down on the A ramp, and in fact, Device gets found by Cajun B, but not before a second kill. Xipix thankfully doesn't spray the whole clip in that position and stay stationary because it gives away the tracers, but Glaive gets up connector. No mid control again from Dignitas. And it catches off Cajun in the open. Rubino trying to play on top shadow on the balcony, but Glaive checks his corners on the way through, and Glaive turns back and finds Tensky. Again, Scout does nothing, so it is 12-2. It is a reset. 13-2 is, I think, the only outcome at this point.
Nothing really too special from Astralis there, working them up once again, hitting all the shots. They're the ones firing on all cylinders right now, and as I said, that's the full reset. They don't have the loss bonus to fall back onto now, so they go into round number 15 just with pistol smack. They only get $1,400 from that round, and the one before was a 1v1, so it's not like they've got any sort of residual cash left over. So it's 5-7 to P250 a CZ armor, 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, 1 kit. This round is almost looking like it'll be a 13-2 guaranteed, and Astralis, very impressive stuff so far, I have to say. The way they've approached this one, coming into this map after losing in overtime in the fashion they did, I thought they would be completely removed from this entire series, but fighting back. And Zonic, unfortunately for him, 4 for 8, but doesn't matter. This scoreline map doesn't matter who's fragging, as long as your teammates are stepping up, and it's Kerrigan and Device once more are finding the kills. It's going to be a 5-on-3, and Xipix does spot Config as well. It's almost a guaranteed kill at this point. Okay, maybe not. As soon as
there is that. There is one to go, but Device finds his 3rd in the round, and the usual suspects stepping up. Glaive and Zonic, look, nothing against them. They're the ones standing in and trying to fill big shoes. They're on the bottom, and it's the 3 that had to step up on the top. That's the way it should be, and that's the way it will be. 13-2 is Astralis. You could leave it neutral and save fuel for that half, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I guess everyone knows this at this point. It's going to be a must-win pistol for Dignitas here. Been very sloppy so far. We'll come back after the break and see if they can recover from this deficit. Do not go anywhere.
Well, it's been, I don't even know what, shocking to say the most and the least. I don't know if there's any other words for Dignitas as they get absolutely stomped. They win the pistol and lose the half 13-2. No chemistry, no timings, and very little understanding of responsibility and roles.
They won the pistol as well, Matt. That sums it all up. They win the pistol and only get 2 rounds. Here's the comparison on your screen right now. Carrigan, he's been playing lights out throughout this series, going up against Cage and B. Let's just have a look at that breaks down. It's 26 sniper kills with Carrigan. He is new to the sniper role. Pretty much the last couple of tournaments is when he's been picking it up. But I had my doubts, I have to say. I didn't think he could kind of fill those device shoes, but this performance says it all. He's been playing really, really well and working and been instrumental on the T side especially.
So 47 kills throughout the entire map and a half so far in this series is pretty impressive. And obviously Cajun coming over from Astralis for Dignitas, taking that op role against him. Unfortunately, the experience of his old team isn't allowing much of a read against them because they just can't find it right now.
Indeed.
Firing on all cylinders, more like the spark plugs haven't been replaced and they're completely dead right now.
Well, if they do win the pistol, they can have an opportunity to get back into it. If they lose it, that's pretty much game over at this point. It will be 13-2 as we get into the second half here. 4 sets of armor for Dig. They've got MSL on the utility play. Smoking 2 flashbangs. There's always a chance, so they're going to be going for, actually, most of their players towards the B apartment right now. There'll be 1 lurker towards T-spawn. That's MSL. So they'll be smoking towards the top and middle. Maybe keep some rotations toward that side of the map, and his teammates are just going to explode on this B side by the looks of things. Wait for the MSL flashbangs potentially. He's got those 2 remaining. But Zipex will be waiting. He's very strong holding his position by himself, and there it is. The first kill goes in his favor.
Indeed. However, it's Cajun to pull back. Give them a chance, an opening. In fact, 2 kills now for him. A 3rd as he wraps around and finds Glaive. Heroics needed, heroics found. But Kerrigan, a chance on Rubino. Low HP, does find it. Bomb goes down, and MSL a long way away from the Glock, but he's got the call that Kerrigan's in. That means counter peak potential for Cajun B. It's together, which they'll take him down. It's on to Device. He's actually in a good position considering how quiet and coy he's being. Kerrigan, oh, misses the shot. Had no idea he was there. He could have easily tapped that away and just doesn't land it.
The USP is one of those weapons. If you don't hit the first shot, it can be very difficult to recover from, especially when a player's moving around like that. It's a little bit lucky for the T in that respect. But I was about to say, a lot of my colleagues will know when you have this kind of lead, I would not recommend the force buy in the second round, but it never seems to go that way.
They do it just to spite you.
Yeah, you know. But I don't think it's the full force buy against these Onyx. He has 1,500, and so does Carrigan. So looking to the future a little bit more. It's what I mean by that is you don't need to be force buying this lead. You don't need to be winning this round. So just play the percentage chances and make sure you go into that first gun round with everything you need just to finish this game off in a quick manner. Don't limit yourself in that first gun round. I know I say that a lot, but it's something I feel very passionate about, Matthew. So I have to bring it up every now and then, you know. We'll have a look at the buy. You can see Dignitas not risking anything here. And only 1 SMG, 4 rifles. It's quite common for Mirage, obviously a very long-range map. Lots of long hallways and exposed areas you can hold with those rifles. It'll be Tensky this time on the MAC-10, throw him into the bomb site first, but it's Zipex. He's got the scout, like I said. Very good in this position towards B. Not known for his sniping capabilities, but we'll see whether he can do anything with his first shot. And I'm not sure if that was the X-ray tricking me. Did he actually get a vision with him there?
I'm not 100% sure either. There he definitely did, crossing over. As he goes back to the stairs as Cajun B takes Kerrigan again. It's a good start for him in the round. They're going to try and work up middle now. Glaive is the top of connector, waiting for them to push through. But Zipex, the scout, it pays off at least for 1. He takes MSL. He's got vision of connector where they wish to push. And there's only a matter of time, 46 seconds before they do go that direction. They've got smokes to work with, so it wouldn't be surprising to drop a smoke in front of Zipex. They haven't done it. It's given them vision. Glaive has a chance to peek. Another flash coming in. They're sitting ducks for the scout. If Zipex, oh, he has to rotate back because he's tagged up by Config. I was going to say, if Zipex could get another shot in, the pistols could pull this off. They still might. A big pick for Rubino. But Device and Zipex are both still alive in this, and a Deagle against 8 HP and 5 on Tensky and Config, respectively. It's really Rubino that has to pull this off. Doesn't land the shot, though, Device.
Very tense round there. You can see how low Tensky and Config were remaining. And Rubino takes some damage towards the end as well there. Zipex finds that opening kill with the scout and funnels the T's in towards that connector area. But like you said, he takes a ton of damage, can't really justify staying in that area. And Dignitas do live to see another day here. 13-4. This will be the full eco now coming from Astralis. Like I said, it wasn't the full investment here, so they definitely will have the AWP. That'll be in Carrigan's hand. You can see right now he's got $3,400, so almost certainly will have the AWP going into the next one. MSL, he can be the MAC-10 SMG player. going into this one, this should be almost guaranteed round at this point. But one thing I've learned from this tournament is apparently the default pistols can win you rounds. We saw that yesterday, in fact. So it's actually Fnatic punishing G2, and this will actually win the game.
And Na'Vi punishing NIP.
So never rule them out, but it's very, very unlikely that's going to happen.
Well, MSL, Mac-10, looking beat. Zipek's back in the corner, which was previously needed. And I'm not 100% sure. We just spot him, definitely did on the jump. I was going to say, I think he saw him before that, hence the Molotov coming out. He's going to force him out of that position regardless. Device is boosted up inside of the site on the box, so it's a stack on the B site, and Device is in a prime position. However, with a stack, that might be a checked position with that many players around. There has to be something suspicious going on. However, it does mean if they rotate off this early, they can still leave him there to potentially surprise. If they can buy themselves enough time, that surprise might be enough. You never know the way this game's gone. Config still down catwalk, gonna try and push back Glaive to the site, does so successfully, cleans out ladder, gives them the mid control to work with. They can now try and divide the map, and with Rubino and MSL going on to A, they're soon gonna realize it's vacant, and the bomb should head that direction.
Yes, you can see there's a very heavy stack from Astralis here towards that B side. Boost all over the place. Don't think it's gonna work in this manner, like you said. As soon as they've worked out that A's actually clear, it's gonna be MSL and Rubino. Given that call to their teammates, everyone comes through connector, and that's the round over. Once the bomb's planted, they can't really do much about this. Wasn't too much invested. I think it was worth the effort towards the B side. If they did somehow walk into that trap, could have been quite interesting with the crossfires they had set up there, but this will be a clean round now for Dig. MSL is probably the player that can justify the most going on the hunt. Every kill he gets is an extra $600. Doesn't really want that Mac-10 for next round, so if he just farm maybe 2 or 3 kills, that'd be brilliant, but let's see how it works out. Looks like the Astralis don't want to give anything away here. They don't want to give the T's any money. They're just going to be holding right back, not going to be even coming towards this situation. Every time they drop, they know it's potentially $600 with MSL's gun in hand, so not even a factor anymore, you know?
Wow.
Zonic.
Yeah. Good headshot. Gun grab. Device takes Tensky. Another gun grabbed. Cajun B. Caught at the top of middle is Rubino. He takes Zonic back, however, so that's the Mac-10 gone, and they won't carry anything over in the end of it. So the rebuy back into this, that's the more substantial factor because they are still chiseling at the economy of Dignitas, and they have a lot of rounds to try and pull back. Money, as much as they can build up, is going to be hugely beneficial to them. And Astralis immediately out with guns. Kerrigan goes AWP and a smoke, as well as armor. There's only one kit in play, it's on Zonic.
Yeah, these rounds are always difficult. The first gun round in the CT, you're not fully equipped, especially if you bought anything on the second round here. So I think it has, like I said, we saw it from Astralis in that first gun round on Cobble. They try and do something a little bit faster, try and catch the CTs out, but so far just going for mid-control. No challenge there just yet. Will be Kerrigan firing off that first shot. He's actually towards the B side right now. So just firing off with that smoke and seeing if he can find anything with it. Looks like a B split coming in here. 3 very fast players towards short and 2 in the apartments as well. This could be difficult for Kerrigan.
Oh, misses that shot. That was a chance, but he still has the angle, and the timing's off from MSL. He's not able to wrap around and find him fast enough to give them the one-man advantage. Instead, it's a trade, but it is the bomb site gained.
I'd say probably save at this point.
Zonic's the only one with the kit. Zonic, a little bit hairy, shoots back toward his team instead. Yeah, Molotov coming in, they've got to save. They have to, but look right now, interestingly enough, at the position of Config in the vent, he's got Glaive cut off. And now he's going to rotate back through jungle, evade Device, and face against Zipix. So they aren't going to get away with very much here. They're hunting very heavily. Device is in a good position to potentially catch off KGB as he walks out from kitchen, and that works well. He's actually got a kit in front of this window. Device, he's got a kit to pick up. He's got a smoke. This could, oh, he overthrows it, and MSL's still there.
Oh, can you imagine? What looked like a foregone conclusion there. Astralis saving the weapons. They actually managed to get 4 terrorists down. There was a sliver of a chance of getting that full defuse in, but you can see the remaining terrorist player was aware, and no ninjas today. So 13-6. Astralis can't pick up that round. It's pretty clean from Dignitas there, sticking together, smoking off towards middle. Fast B-split coming in, like I said. You normally want to go for those fast and looser plays when you know that the CTs are always struggling for. Utility might not have the AWP. This time they did, but it was Kerrigan. Only got 1 kill for his troubles on that B side. Couldn't find the second. Good play there from Dignitas in terms of teamwork, making sure they're trading effectively. Only managed to allow him to get 1 kill before they swarmed him. So round number 20. Zipix once again with the scouts. Not a force buy in any sense by Astralis. It's going to be Cajun B to take him down. So there it is, 5-4. They don't have to do anything at this point. See what the reaction is. This is one of those maps where CTs will be pushing all sorts of areas and trying to recover real estate on the map. And Rubino does find Device. There's a reaction kill coming in. He was pushing towards Palace if you didn't see that.
Glaive Gonna try and follow in those same footsteps with the P250, but it's still a long-range game for Rubino to play, and Glaive doesn't overface it. Just gets tagged down to 66. Now they know he's up close. What's his next move to try and catch them off? As he spots Cajun B, and they'll rush in aggressively, walk into the crosshair. Good placement with the P250, nearly finds a second headshot. But Kerrigan, as they're distracted, is able to pick up Rubino. It's 2 guns down, but another round for Dignitas. So 7 rounds now for them, 13 still for Astralis. 5 in a row for Dig. Full loss round bonus in the favor of Astralis, and guns to come back up as a result. AWP on Kerrigan again.
Well, we said if they won the pistol, there was some sort of hope here. They're putting up a pretty convincing case so far. Like you said, 5-0 now. Just gonna have to grind it out like they've done Cobble, round by round. They were actually 13-5 down on Cobble, Matt. So this is doable. It's possible. Didn't show much on CT, that's for sure, but was the 2 rounds enough? I would say no, even at this point, but still, we're going to round number 21. Kerrigan back on the AWP. Fane pushing off towards short. This time he'll be in towards that window room. KGB has the AWP himself this time, so this will be more of a default play. They know the CTs are pretty much full board at this stage, so they'll be trying to look for that first pick. What's interesting is that he was actually the lurk player for Astralis on this map. He was to be on holding A ramp, holding towards Palace. While his teammates went towards B, he'd be trying to get those lurk kills in. One of the few maps he did that on. This time he's in Palace with it all himself, waiting for the smoke to dissipate and hoping someone walks in his crosshair. And Glaive has been making a few errors this series, does face, but a little bit of damage towards Cajun. He'll be repositioning himself now.
They slow it down. Roles and responsibilities clearly defined right now for Astralis' CT side. There is someone watching Palace. Device on stairwell also can cover off mid with Zonic, who's at catwalk. That does give a chance to Tensky to sneak up the underpass if Device isn't fully aware of it, if he's still watching this Palace, if the timing is off. So Device needs to be cautious of this position from Tensky.
Time ticking away now. Dignitas still have a couple of smokes and utility remaining. Looks like it will be an A-sided sort of split here. Tensky in that connector room, looking for Cajun to get the first pick in.
This is it. This is the timing. Device has no idea. Down he goes, and the opening's there. Kerrigan thankfully finds one, but Glaive, big kill to get against Tensky because it gives them a chance. Still, Kerrigan just spotted the gun barrel. He was desperate to hit the shot. He just missed. And that allows Cajun B to walk back and find Glaive. They are still down a man on this Dignitas side. 12 seconds, they have to go for it. Kerrigan knows it, tries to get aggressive, but now that all it does is serve to make this a 2 versus 2 in the post plant. And the smoke off at CT, the only one that can face directly is Zonic. And he has to wait just slightly for Zippix to get his vision back, but Cajun B is staring him down. And Zonic's just trying to steal the aggro, force them back, and Cajun at Firebox, flash to go over. This will be the peak coming out for Zippix. There's no counter to it from MSL, but they still can't find the angle. They still can't find the shots, and Cajun gets in the open. A turn back from MSL. They clutch back the round.
Well then, into that A site, and it was that A split we talked about. Tensky getting in towards the connector area, finds a kill on towards Device. That was a kill. I'm surprised he didn't move his aim more to the right. I think he slightly adjusted at that point, but you thought, with the information he had, I thought that kill was guaranteed for Kerrigan. That would have won the round, you know? That would have been just enough to kind of claw that one, but this is getting interesting now, Matt. I think we do have a game on our hands, you know? It's going to be round number 22, Scout, MP9. I don't think this is a forced buy at all. I think this is just partial buy. Obviously, maximum loss bonus. We saw this from Dignitas. This will be a Scout, an MP9, 5.7s, P250s, and oh, okay, I'm not sure how he got away with that one. That's actually going to be Kerrigan making his way towards connector. Didn't actually take a bullet there. I thought he was dead to rights, but Zipex, he's got other ideas with that Scout. He gets the first kill towards Config, so a chance here as it goes down to the 5 and 4.
Already with more effect than Tensky on that Scout so far. Has Zippix been on this CT side? Forces MSL back slightly out of the B apartments as well, as Rubino is going to start working into Palace, but look at Device. So aggressive, already down outside of the A ramp on the T side towards spawn. Kerrigan as well as a gap in the smoke to try and spot in mid. Cajun's going to go toward connector. There's the opportunity. Can't land it. Smartly gets away before the return fire comes in, but Device is found. Mentioned, he was right here where MSL is now, and he spots up Sonic as well, so the aggression doesn't pay off. However, Glaive and Kerrigan do still find kills to make this 2 versus 2. Bomb is going to get out safely. Fire at the top of connector will limit the entrance from Zippix and Kerrigan, and the information as both of those people have gotten kills is relayed. They are in that direction. So they'll just get into angles that'll force the peak from Astralis.
The thing is as well, there's an incendiary in front of the site, but the T still have a Molotov himself. They don't need the faces. They know the CTs won't have kits. That's almost a given at this point, but that face by MSL, that makes it interesting. That's the Molotov gone as well. Up to Rubino, gets one. Can he find the second? It's up to Zipex, got the AK in hand. It's going to be very tense here, but he manages to get it. And how have they thrown that round away? You can see Cajun B, head in his hands. They didn't really need to face it. They had the crossfire set up. He's got a player at Tetris. He's in shadow. Wait for him. And it's a close defuse, but it comes in their favor. That setup was great for them. They needed to work together there, Matt. Like I said, the player in shadow, Tetris, he can cover the line of fire before they can even face him.
And it all came, MSL peaking all came off the back of one op shot missed. He got baited entirely into that op. He overcommitted to that. And then guess what? The AK picture, was right there. Exactly.
You know they haven't got kits? You've got that perfect crossfire. I wish I had a way of displaying that to you with some. That's the next step we need to go, so I can draw on the map. That's next.
They got that at E-League, so
next major. I need to be able to do that. But anyway, the crossfire they had up there, there was no way they could have lost that round had he not faced from shadow. His teammates covering him. He gets the first kill, then he faces once the aggro's been taken away. But that's a bit of a blunder, and Astralis do find their first round here on the second half. It's 14-8 now. This does reset potential. It does give reset potential, but that was an eco win for them. So we'll see how this one goes down. It's going to be round number 23. Back to AWP. It's Cajun B. The double AWP set up for Astralis now, so they're boosting their chances here. Change of formation, let's see if it works out.
Device CT stares with his AWP as Kerrigan covers off middle. Double rifle inside of B with Zipix and Zonic to be that support player. He's been a little more quiet in this particular game. 6 and 15 for him, but the others, they're all stepping up large. In fact, Glaive in the mix as much as anyone else. Zonic, all he has to do is just make sure he provides information and utility. They've rotated him off to A and brought an AWP onto B. So dynamic play. Astralis is known for this, famed for this even on Mirage in specific when they had Cajun and the triple op, potential. They could run it on anyone based on spawn points, but right now it's falling apart. Reset potential, you said, is a factor. Well, they're down 2 men in this round. Thankfully pulled back by Zipex. A CT master, as he's proved time and time again. Tensky crosses the window. Device knows it. He's got the call, but they can't find the angle, and he'll get away from this. It's through connectors. Onyx alone. He's caught. Rubino takes him down. 4 versus 2. Kit for Zipix. Flash and a smoke for Device as they have fire on the stairwell, but good pick as he finds just Rubino. It gives them a chance. They know the bomb's just gone down. Default, they can't find config, and he's actually going to be clever. The elevation above the box gives the angle to him, and Device can't find the refrag on it. Does he commit? AWP, you mentioned refrag. Well, he's got one on config. There's a chance here still. A smoke out, flash over. He should be able to cross. Now, that smoke does leave a slight gap, but Tensky, he's not in a position to find it, to spot it. Device now knows he's not on stairs. Is he in A main? Check that. Not there. Gonna have to try and go for this pick, but watch jungle, because the further he walks, the more vulnerable he is. Hairy moment from Cajun not hitting that shot.
Yeah, the thing from Tensky there, doesn't have to start spraying the smoke. Obviously, he's got Cajun towards the jungle. They can hear when the fake defuse comes in. Device didn't go for that. He was trying to just walk in and potentially catch someone off guard, but 14-9, we said that was reset potential. There is money available for Astralis, but it's only really on Device. So this will be another eco coming in. Dignitas, sorry, to actually get to double figures here, but that round before, it's brought Astralis one step closer, but everything's been reset at this point. They'll take a full eco here. PT50, PT1000s, USPs, 1 smoke on Device. I'm not really sure what the plan is here. Maybe smoke towards the lower ramp and hope for the best. Push through that at one point. They haven't got really a flash to justify that. This Device is maybe to edge through, trying to find a gap here, but not giving anything. Him firing the PT50 shots does signal it is a full eco, but they would have known that anyway. But next round, they get $1,900. It won't be the best buy. There's definitely its potential is it will have rifles, and you can see Device can drop an AWP as well. But if they were to lose that round, that's when it really gets interesting. That's when the things have to get back into this game.
Yeah. The numbers, the math, the economy. It's the feature of it right now for Dignitas. That's their chance.
Yeah, this is a must. Well, this is a must win round. The next one, that's the one that really matters. Such a pivotal round. That will put Astralis onto a point where they're going to be really struggling for cash. They have the option to force buy, but here we go then. PT1000s and Zipex waiting towards B, lockdown. What a great play that is. Molotov towards the van. Cajun B's ready to flush him out and takes him down as soon as he faces.
And good smokes at the top of connector and on the window to allow them to bypass middle without any confrontation. No information gathered from it. And they just waltz into B and walk away with another round. So 14-10. Zonic and Device just trying to wait to see if they can take some guns away. Zonic gets spotted by Config. That'll tell Device they're up close, and he's just going to hug the wall at Catwalk. They don't even need to go that far, as Config's going to try and go through window instead.
What's interesting about Astralis, before they came into this tournament, they actually set themselves. Keep on semi out.
The op. I mean, Device, yeah, there it is. He's got it, but can he hold it that long? That's the better question. Config. They know he's there. They're going to hunt him. If he hits a lovely up-close shot here, there's a chance he saves it. Bomb, though, that close. 7 HP. Yeah, he gone on that alone.
the point I wanted to make was Astralis, they actually came into this tournament and they're going back to basics, right? And then didn't want to rely on the strategies and all the flashy stuff and all the star player potential. They wanted this to work as a good unit right now. And they're actually, in terms of the series so far, I think they have been the better drilled unit. They are making less mistakes, I have to say. It's been Dignitas have been struggling a lot throughout this one. They're the ones, especially on their T side, we saw it was horrible. And sorry, on their CT side, it was horrible in terms of the way they're having setups and not really having that core understanding of the map. But here it is then. This is the round that really gets interesting. You see Zipex, once again, the scout. To be fair, that's not really that limiting the way he's been playing it so far. And towards B, it's a very strong prospect. The jumping potential there is great. But we'll see how this works out for them. 14-10 now. Dignitas hit double figures. Back towards the defaults here. Nothing really speculating right now. It's going to be Device pushing off towards short. Jumping over that smoke, so we can spot anyone for now. But the bomb is down in T-spawn, so Dignitas won't be acting for quite a while here. They want to allow Cajun B to actually work the map.
Bomb still in T-spawn to follow up on all of that which was said. Smoke now will go to the window. This should indicate some mid-presence and pressure with two players inside of the underpass position rotating back. It's going to be 4 through connector, potentially even a window boost out of this. But 4 from mid and Rubino late from Palace. Zonic at Firebox does have a position that could catch them off. They haven't played here, so they haven't really had the thought in the mind of Dignitas to check it. We'll see if that works. He's got to do something, Zonic, this game to find himself in a position to at least get that one kill that you mentioned that he needed. Remember, Cobblestone he played quite well, but this map he's been a little bit slow.
We'll get back to that later, as it looks like Dignitas are about to make their ascendance onto the bomb site right now.
The smoke on Glaive, he's going to try and flash back through, gap to work with, but he flashes himself as well. He can't find it. 74, Device has 1. Zonic still not checked in this corner. Tensky's gotten aggressive, he's gone by him, but Kerrigan up close, nice AWP shot, and here we go. Zonic, it's your moment. He's got 1, Zonic, 1, no! He misses the shot on Rubino, he chooses to go for the bomb planter, but Zipix will close it. Calm down, everyone. It is Astralis on map point. And Zonic, you mentioned that's the exact round the config did in reverse.
The thing is, though, the timer was so low in this scenario. He knows he wins the round as soon as he gets that kill. I guess he's looking at it. If you look at it, it's like 8 seconds remaining. So he kills the bomb. It's round 1. Like I said, he just needs 1 kill. He doesn't need flashy replay stuff. He needs to guarantee them rounds. He hasn't had much impact so far. But he's like, you know what? I'm just going to make sure we get this one on the board, get us to overtime. And it's now 5 rounds in a row required for Dignitas. MSL's on a Tech 9 as well. It's been a really bloody affair here. Like lots of mistakes and lots of really tense rounds, but Astralis may have done it here. The T sides have been pretty strong for Dignitas so far. MSL taking a ton of damage there at the start. He goes under 16 HP. Kerrigan, I'd say almost the MVP of this series so far. Looking towards connector.
Kerrigan is having a hell of a game. Has to be set up. Close shots, not a problem, so he can play just about any angle with that kind of confidence. Zonic again is going to be aggressive, this time in shadow, so clever on him. Knows he just has to do a very simple task in the last round. Plays a position where it's a chance position, but when it works out perfectly, it's an easy kill for him. Checks out A main this time. Glaive flashes him through. They're approaching A, and aggressively. That smoke's going to dissolve. MSL's low. He's on 16. It's going to be him at Palace. The other 3 coming out from A ramp. Rotation coming over from Device early, and Glaive, good pick on Rubino. Feder still takes down Tensky, but they turn it. No, they don't. Not at all. They can't even get in. Not even a response. And Astralis with Zonic and Kerrigan close out the last 2 kills.
There was a contact play from Dignitas to try and finish things off there. The man disadvantage there. Walking into that bomb site, hoping they can make the trades happen, but Glaive, he steps up, he spots him early, gives a good call for his teammates. The crossfires come in, and it's a successful hold. So after losing the first map in overtime, Astralis managed to finish this one off. It looked a little bit scary at one point. They did have that, 13-5 lead once again, but this time they finished it off. Dignitas had a good showing on the second half, but couldn't actually finish it this time. So there it is, 1-1. We do go to the third map.
Yeah, Cash is that third map. Astralis have been good on it in the past, but it hasn't been one of their stronger maps. Dignitas, same kind of middle ground. It's a good third map to end this series on. We'll go to the experts. It's got a lot to talk about again, but Astralis, the first half, incredible.
In the words of Henry G, a real bloody affair. It has been so up and down. We don't really know what to anticipate coming in towards the third map. Fortunately, I have these men to talk a little bit about what went on Mirage. It makes no sense. Cobblestone, we were sitting there saying Astralis can't put T-rounds together. Mirage, they can, but they can't do it on defense. Put it into perspective for me, Duncan. It's not easy to explain, right?
The big problem is, this time you really do have to look at the Dignitas side of the equation and say, what was Dignitas doing? I mean, it's unbelievable they could have such a poor CT half to me there. But if I'm playing against the team I know is as disjointed as that, I'm surprised there were less like information plays. It seemed like they just played a lot of standard positions, waited for the enemies to come in. Amazingly poor performances, obviously, as the ADR is going to show you, pretty much up and down the scoreboard. Like, what people forget about map 1 is Config was having a pretty bad game for like 2/3 of that map. And then in the last 10 rounds, it's true, he went nuts. At that point in time, he put like 10 plus kills the last few rounds, winning all these rounds. He's had a pretty poor series overall when you look at it. Tensky somehow, I feel sorry for the guy because he was left in like 1v4, 1v3, 1v2, like every round of CT. Like, couldn't win any of these situations. So Dignitas looks like an absolute mess right now.
Yeah, Yanko, can you add anything to the pile of Dignitas abuse? Like that was, it was so audible. You could hear the casters were getting frustrated from some of these silly pushes and other such things.
It's understandably so. Dignitas had a good start and they lose around 2 pistols with no armor. First gun round, they push mid, they get a 5v3 advantage. The Config decides to push through the smoke for more. They get punished for it, lose that round. They were just getting punished for unnecessary aggression and terrible decision making. And after a while, they were down big time. So by that point, they started doubting themselves. I think they themselves were pretty much on tilt by the fact how they were losing some of the games. I mean, look at why.
That was a 5v3, right?
Give me the reasoning behind this move. There's no reason to go for that play.
And with that much talent as well in the Astralis, it really is letting him off the hook. And that one round, I mean, you think about if they're able to win that, maybe Astralis has to save the next one, or maybe, you know, you win 2 in a row. But if you give him that round, all of a sudden Astralis is right back into the driver's seat. And then, I mean, Kerrigan's having a phenomenal series right now for Astralis. Sure, yeah. Device starting off that T-half, he didn't blow up on the scoreboard or anything, but starting off in the T-half, this is that superstar performance where he's just up A ramp. That round specifically, after that kill, he gets 2 more picks in that A bomb site, and he was able to do that. He was able to isolate some of those one-on-ones and just take those aim battles at mid to long range, and he would win them, and that just gives so much power over to Astralis. And then Dignitas is in this big hole. You saw, I mean, that second half, they seem to have some life in them, but they just don't give themselves a chance with such a terrible first half.
And this one, I thought, this was the map where Zonic was good, I thought. He was improved on this one. On both sides, he managed to make plays. Obviously, we saw like the sort of inside the sight play there he made, which is like a veteran move. You don't just go for the guy who's planting, you go for the other guy first.
Well, your exact words, you old dog.
Something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, not great ADR, but better than last time. And the difference is the kills now were impact kills. They weren't just a kill in a round you lose. So yeah, he played much of a half.
On the topic of Zonic, now that they've both played 2 games, both Dupree and Zonic, it's just take a moment to look at these stats side by side. Of course, we know Astralis are operating at a disadvantage, but it is just proof that he is, I mean, he's pulling his weight. He is doing what is necessary of him, of course. They've already been thrown into this rather turbulent scenario, but you can see that he is indeed doing the best he can. Would you say, gentlemen? I mean, this is what we expected from Zonic. It's not like we were expecting
it's not too bad. It's not too bad in terms of kills where it's really missing out on, and you can see is that ADR, just like, because he doesn't want to be involved in these rounds until he absolutely has to. He's trying to win with his brain because he doesn't have the aim that Dupree has, doesn't have the ability to impact based off his role.
I think that's good, though, because actually one big mistake you could make if you're a player coming in here who's a bad player is if you just feed kills. Like, if you just give kills up easy, you give up guns easy, and you're just dying every round, you're actually going to be a big economic disparity in terms of what you're giving to the enemy.
Yeah, you were talking about the whole bank of Zonic. Well, he's kind of definitely been pulling his weight, and that's going to be the bottom line as we do head into our final map. It will be Cash, and we'll be talking about it after the break between Astralis and Dignitas. Both of the Danes are being tested, and it's hard to predict for our analysts here at the desk. We're going to be doing our best to talk through Cash in just a moment.